until I said to him, well, it's like that old saying, isn't it? Everybody's got an opinion, and David Cameron's an arsehole. Hi, welcome to the Clanging Chimes of Doom retake introduction. Yeah, I pressed record on the webcam earlier, but for some reason it didn't start recording until about 5 minutes into the show. Basically, the 5 minutes that you missed were forgettable. Really, I was just explaining that I had intended never to record another episode of the Clanging Chimes. I felt that even though, life, human life on this planet is undoubtedly meaningless, and we, the human race, are actually a disease which this blameless planet requires urgently a cure from. Nevertheless, there must be more to a life than babbling away in pink shades in front of a webcam. There's got to be. And but I said that I'd returned to the show because I felt basically that episode 6, the season finale, had been both boring and deeply disturbing. Episode 7, the Christmas special, was a contractual obligation, as explained during the Christmas special episode. And episode 8, of course, was the Unbroadcast Channel 4 pilot that I did, which everybody involved, and indeed everybody who's ever seen it, has labelled at least a major disappointment, and which one of my close friends who saw it a couple of days ago described to me as disappointing beyond belief. Yeah. Basically, what you missed was me sort of pretending to sort of look down, and I said, "Oh, there's some of Sister Wendy's Maltesers down there. I better go and get them." And I was going to kind of get down, and then my arm was going to re-emerge only with this on, and it's Twitchy the fucking sock. And I explained that Twitchy was going to be hopefully a viable series character. As you'll see, because the webcam started recording midway through the Twitchy bit, as you'll see, it turns out that Twitchy wasn't, in fact, a viable series character, and I shouldn't have chosen to improvise the whole bit from scratch, just as I probably shouldn't have chosen to improvise this retake of the introduction. I think of the Twitchy stuff, you miss him saying sort of, "Hi, I'm Twitchy the fucking sock," and sort of saying, "I used to be the wank sock of a frustrated teenager, and until you've had the hot jizz of a frustrated teen shot right up inside of you, you don't know what suffering is, my friend. So if you're out there thinking, God, I suffer on this earth, you don't know nothing about no suffering, my friend, until you've been a teenage wank sock." And it sort of went on from there, quite poorly, really. And I think this would probably be a good place to stop and then cut in, and we can begin with the halfway through Twitchy bit. But again, I've got through an episode, and it hasn't been a one-take only affair. We're going to have to cut again. I'm compromising my artistic integrity yet again. My artistic ideals lie in tatters, which wouldn't be so bad if I had a sort of an audience to fall back on, and if I was making sort of millions of pounds doing this, it wouldn't be quite so bad. But yeah, I mean, what do I have? But let's not get into another sort of depressive monologue. Can I apologise in advance for the story from my blues years? Not quite sure what I was thinking, and of course, also, as you'll see, to any Christians, not only am I blasphemous and gratuitously offensive towards Christians, I'm unoriginal whilst I'm doing it. And somebody who frequents the website eBaum's World got there before me, which I think shows you the kind of level I'm functioning at here. Take care. Take care. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, anyway, what are we going to talk about today? Well, you may be thinking, you're a sock, I'm better than you. But at the end of the day, my friends, ain't we all got a hand up inside of us? Whose hand's up inside of you? Is it your wife's, your husband, your boss, the government, a bank, the media? Everybody's got a hand up inside of them. I'm telling you. At least I know whose hand is there and why he's doing it. He's doing it because he's an asshole who can't stop sitting in front of a camera and improvising poor comedy. Really poor comedy. You know what? I don't even like myself. I'm gonna go back to bed. Oh my God, my voice is going. Oh shit. I can't believe this. All I ever wanted out of life was to have Christie walk, put her foot right up inside of me. I tell you, that gets me off. It gets me real hard just thinking about Christie walk, putting her foot right up inside of me. I gotta go. Oh my God. I was never gonna be a viable series character. I was never gonna work. Oh Jesus. Oh no. It's all gone wrong.
Well, so yeah, Sister Wendy's Maltesers there, and the episode was interrupted by Twitchy the Sock, who we won't be seeing again. We won't be seeing again because I mean that was me just under the table with my hand up inside the sock, doing the bit, and of course in the spirit of the Clanging Chimes, one take only. And was improvised fully, as you probably got the impression. That was made up on the spot, and went poorly. To be fair, there's no getting around that. And the one even vaguely funny bit about being a frustrated teenager's wank sock, I had sort of thought of beforehand. And then realised that I had nothing to say whilst pretending to be a sock from the east coast of America, because that's where the accent was supposed to be from, and had high hopes for Twitchy becoming a series character. Possibly a viral phenomenon whose obsession with newsreader Kirsty Walk may well have become the stuff of legend. I was hopeful that there would be children in playgrounds all over the world quoting Twitchy, but that's not going to happen realistically. I mean, viewing figures for the Clanging Chimes, average per episode about 4, and that's including friends and family. So Twitchy going viral, Not going to happen. Not going to happen in this lifetime, anyway. So yeah, replacing the top 3 shit list with a sock puppet has proved unsuccessful. I would like to tell you now, though, a story, a true story, from my booze years, which I've mentioned in previous episodes, and this happened probably about 9 years ago now, before I had kids, and was really seriously caning it on a pretty much a nightly basis. And there was a chap who lives just round the corner, actually, from here, in a flat, and he doesn't live there anymore. But at the time was living there, who I sort of got friendly with, and I used to go around to his. He was a single man. I used to go around to his, and we used to watch TV and drink. Really, it was quite a strange relationship, based purely on alcohol. But he was quite a nice chap. He worked as a nurse cum support worker on the acute psychiatric ward of the local mental hospital. So quite a stressful job that he did, and an important job. And he was Irish, actually, and I'm not gonna tell you his real name. So we'll call him Bertie O'Brien, if that's okay. And yeah, it was one night about 9 or 10 years ago. I sort of got a call from him about 10:30 at night, so quite late, asking if I wanted to go around. And it was a Friday night, actually. So I took this as a sign to go to the supermarket first and get some booze in. I think I went with cider and got a 6-pack of beer for him, and took it round to his flat. And another one of my friends was there, the absolutely splendidly and genuinely named Terry Nutkins, who was in no way connected to the really wild show presenter, fondly remembered by people my age. But no, Terry Nutkins was there. We called him Nuts, yes, because of his name, but also because he was the least insane person we knew. Meaning he was kind of the most boring person on the planet, but we liked him because he was so boring. He was kind of dependable and could be relied upon to be sensible at all times. And yeah, so Nuts was there. Terry was there as well, and we basically just had a major session. I mean, before I knew it, the cider that I brought round was gone, and we'd sort of moved on to vodka Red Bulls, which is never a good idea. And then before I knew it, we were sort of 3/4 way through a big bottle of Bushmills, and something deeply weird and disturbing happened. Bertie O'Brien confessed something to us, which haunts me to this day. He told us that he had, on no fewer than 8 occasions, actually sneaked into the room of a heavily sedated female patient and molested them. He basically confessed to us that he had molested no fewer than 8 acutely ill female psychiatric patients. And I mean, I just shouted, "Are you fucking nuts?" And he said, "No. I don't fuck them. I just molest them." And we refer to them as patients or service users. And he said this quite calmly, with an eerie calm, and then got up and walked out of the living room into the kitchen and closed the door. And me and Terry Nutkins were left absolutely speechless. And when we did regain the powers of speech, we're sort of saying, well, what do we do? Do we call the police? I mean, he's pretty wasted. Maybe he's just making it up. We didn't quite know what to do. So I decided that I needed to go into the kitchen to speak to Bertie O'Brien, because he was quite a good friend of mine, and I was concerned for him, as well as being disgusted by what he just told us. I was pretty concerned about him. So I sort of burst through the kitchen door to sort of have it out with him and find out what exactly was going on, whether this was just a sick joke or whether he really meant it. And if he did mean it, I was going to try and persuade him to sort of own up and confess to the police. But so I burst into the kitchen to have it out with him, and he was standing by the cooker with his back to me. But as he sort of half turned to see who'd just entered the room, I could see that he had his penis inside a bag of KP dry roasted, and I shouted, "Are you fucking nuts?" And he said, "No, I'm not fucking them. I just like to put my penis inside bags of savoury snacks. It's flaccid. I just like to do that at moments of extreme stress." And he just replaced the nuts in a cupboard and quite calmly walked past me, and then said to Terry Nutkins, "Come on, Terry, we need to go to the bedroom." And Terry, I think, was still in shock and just followed him. And then I was at a complete loss as to what to do. I had no idea what his intentions were with Terry in the bedroom. And I was deeply puzzled. I just had no idea what to do. I mean, we were all pretty wasted, although I have to say I was suddenly kind of sobered up by what had happened. And I really didn't know what to do, so I just sat down on the sofa and tried to figure out my next move. In the meantime, there were sounds. After a few minutes or so, there began to be sounds of complaining bed springs issuing from the bedroom, and I thought, "Oh my God, what's happening now?" And I sort of stood up and gradually edged my way towards the bedroom door, which was sort of just down a short corridor. And I kind of approached the bedroom door, and I could hear the bed springs going like mad. And I thought, I just can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is real life. That this is now my life. This is happening in my life. But I was pretty concerned about Terry Nutkins by this point. I had no idea what Bertie O'Brien was up to with him. So I burst through the bedroom door and shouted, "Are you fucking nuts?" And actually, they were just bouncing up and down on the bed like children. And Bertie O'Brien said, "No, I'm not. We thought that would be too obvious a punchline. So we just decided to bounce up and down instead." And we all laughed and polished off the Bushmills. But yeah, that was in some ways a typical evening from my booze years. In other ways, a more disturbing than average evening from my booze years. But long, hard years they were, and it looks like they're over now. So that's good. And having said that, I was going to deliver you a more conventional episode today. I feel I've thoroughly let the side down. A failed sock puppet sketch, and a frankly wildly inappropriate story from my booze years. And as it is, we've run out of time. And basically, I was going to end this episode by holding up a drawing that I'd done of Jesus having sex with another Jesus. And I was simply going to hold the picture up and say, Jesus fucking Christ. And then cut to black and the end credits sort of scroll up. But in researching this briefly before I started recording, I realised that somebody on a site called eBounds World had actually got there before me and had done the Jesus fucking Christ joke, such as it is, before me. So I mean, someone's always got there before you, haven't they? There's no such thing as originality these days. I think there was a caption actually, "Whither the specialists and maverick innovators." Is it possible to innovate maverickly these days? I don't know, but whatever you do, however good it is, someone's always got there before you, and they've probably done it better, because I mean this is really quite effective. This is as far as my drawing got. It's not the best. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Jesus there. I don't know what that Jesus is up to. He's not really recognisable as the Christ, is he? No. So yeah, I don't quite know what was going on there. I'm quite pleased with the standing Jesus there. He looks sort of as if he's well into it. So yeah, that went well until I got to the sort of crouching Jesus figure, and it fell to pieces. And then I thought about, going on the internet to sort of get a Christ picture to paste over this, and then sort of do it that way. And in researching that, I discovered that somebody actually had done the Jesus fucking Christ thing anyway. So yet again, disappointment reigns at the end of another episode. I'm hoping I'm not going to be back. I mean, life is totally and utterly meaningless, but there's really got to be more to it than wearing pink shades and doing this.